359. Absalom plots against David. Chapter 15. And after this Abishalom prepared for himself chariots and horsemen, and 50 men to run before him. 2. And Abishalom rose up early and stood beside the king's gate. And it was so that when any man had a case to be tried before the king, when Absalom called to him, and he said, "Of what city are you?" And he said, "Your servant is one of the tribes of Israel." 3. And Absalom said to him, "I see your arguments are good and just, but there is no man deputed by the king to hear you." 4. Abishalom said, "Moreover, that I were made judge in the land, that every man who has a lawsuit or a cause might come to me, and I would do him justice." 5. And whenever a man arose to do him obeisance, he held him by the hand and kissed him. 6. And in this manner did Abishalom and all the Israelites come to the king for judgment. To all the Israelites who came to the king for judgment. So Abishalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. 7. And it came to pass, after 4 years, Abishalom said to the king, "Let me go and fulfill my vow which I have made to the Lord in Hebron." 8. For your servant made a vow while I abode in Geshur and in Aram, saying, "If the Lord will bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, I will serve the Lord." 9. And the king said to him, "Go in peace." So he arose and went to Hebron. 10. But Abishalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, "As soon as you hear the sound of the trumpet, then you shall say, Abishalom reigns in Hebron." 11. And with Abishalom went 200 men from Jerusalem, but they went innocently, not knowing anything of the plot. 12. And Abishalom sent for Ahitophel, the Gilonite, David's counselor, and brought him from his city, from Gilo. And while he was offering sacrifices, and the conspiracy grew strong, and the people increased continually on the side of Abishalom. 13. And there came a messenger to David, saying, "The hearts of the men of Israel are with Abishalom." 14. And David said to all his servants who were with him at Jerusalem, "Arise, and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Abishalom. Make haste to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword." 15. And the king's servant said to the king, "Behold, your servants are ready to do whatever our lord the king wants to do." 16. So the king went forth, and all his household after him, and the king left 10 women who were concubines to keep his house. 17. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and they halted in the place at a distance from the city. 18. And all his servants passed on beside him, and all his noblemen, and all his army, and all the Gittites who had followed him from Gath, passed on before the king. 19. Then the king said to Ittai the Gittite, "Why do you also go with us? Depart from the king, for you are a stranger, and also you were brought captive from your country." 20. You came by yesterday, and shall I trouble you today to go with us, saying, "I go saying, I go wherever I may. Return and make your brethren to settle down, and it'll be well with you. 21. But Ittai answered the king and said, As the Lord lives, and as the king lives, wherever my lord the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there will your servant also be. 22. And David said to Ittai, Go and pass over. So Ittai the Gittite passed over, and all his men, and all the little ones that were with him. 23. And all the country wept a loud voice, and all the people passed over. Then the king also passed over the brook Kidron, and all the people passed over toward the way of the wilderness. 24. And behold, Zadok the priest went also, and all the Levites who were with him, bearing the ark of God. And Abiathar went up and stood until all the people had finished passing over from the city. 360. Plots and curses. 25. Then the king said to Zadok, Carry back the ark of God into the city. Perhaps I shall find favor in the eyes of the Lord, and he will bring me back again and show me both it and its habitation. 26. But if he shall say, I have no delight in you, behold, here I am, let him do to me as seems good in his sight. 27. The king also said to Zadok the priest, Return, go into the city in peace, you and your sons with you, Ahimaaz your son, and Nathan the son of Abiathar. 28. See, I will wait in the plain of the wilderness until there come a man from you to inform me. 29. Zadok therefore and Abiathar carried the ark of God back to Jerusalem, and they remained there. 30. And David went up by the ascent of Mount Olivet, and wept as he went up, and had his head covered, and all the people who were with him also covered their heads, and they went up on foot, weeping as they went. 31. And they told David, saying, Ahithophel has conspired with Absalom. And David said, O Lord, I pray thee, nullify the counsel of Ahithophel. 32. And when David came to a place where he used to worship, behold, Hushai the Archite came to meet him with his coat torn and earth upon his head. 33. And David said to him, If you pass on to me, then you will be a burden to me. 34. But if you return to the city and say to Absalom, I'm your servant, O king, as I was your father's servant hitherto, and now I, the king, want you to go and defeat the counsel of Ahithophel. 35. Behold, they are with you in the city, Zadok and Abiathar the priest. Therefore it shall be that every word you hear from the king's house, you shall tell to Zadok and Abiathar the priest. 36. Behold, they have there with them their two sons, Ahimaaz Zadok's son, and Nathan Abiathar's son. And by them you shall send to me everything that you can hear. 37. So Hushai, David's friend, came to the city, just as Abishalom entered Jerusalem. Chapter 16. And when David had passed a little beyond the place where he used to worship, behold, Ziba the servant of Mephibosheth came to meet him with a couple of asses, laden with 200 loaves of bread, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 cakes of figs, and a skin of wine. And the king said to Ziba, Where did you get these? Ziba said to him, The asses are to carry the burden of the king's household, and the bread and figs are for the young men to eat, and the wine that those who faint in the wilderness may drink. And the king said to him, Where is your master's son? Ziba said to him, Behold, he remains in Jerusalem, for he said, Today shall the house of Israel restore to me the kingdom of Saul my father. 4. Then David said to Ziba, Behold, all that belonged to Mephibosheth is given to you. And Ziba said to him, I have plenty, and I have found grace in your sight, O my lord, O king. 5. And when King David came to Beth Hurim, behold, there came out from there a man of the family of the house of Saul. His name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed David. 6. And he threw stones at him, and at all his servants, and at all the people, and at all the servants who were on his right and on his left. 7. And thus said Shimei to David when he cursed him, Get out, you bloody man, you wicked man. The Lord has requited upon you all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead you have reigned, and the Lord has delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom your son, and behold, you have been requited for your evil, because you are a bloody man. 361. Ahithophel's counsel. 9. Then Abishai the son of Zuriah said to David, Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over and take off his head. 10. And King David said to him, What is it to me and to you, O sons of Zuriah? Let him curse. It is the Lord who has told him to curse David. Therefore, who can say to me, Why has this happened? 11. And David said to Abishai and to all his servants, Behold, my own son, who came forth from my loins, seeks my life. So now let this Benjamin alone. Let him curse, for God has bidden him. 12. It may be the Lord will look on my affliction and requite me good for his cursing this day. 13. And as David and his servants went on the way, Shimei walked along the mountain side opposite him and cursed him as he went, and threw stones at him and cast dust at him. 14. And the king and all the people who were with him arrived at their destination weary, and they refreshed themselves there. 15. And Absalom and all the people who were with him and all Israel came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel was with him. 16. And when Hushai the Archite, David's friend, came to Absalom, Hushai said to Absalom, Long live the king, long live the king. 17. And Absalom said to Hushai, Is this your kindness to your friend? Why did you not go with your friend? 18. And Hushai said to Absalom, No, but whom the Lord and this people and all Israel have chosen, with him I will dwell, and his I will be. 19. And again, whom should I serve? I have no choice. As I have served in your father's presence, so I will serve before you. 20. And Absalom said to Ahithophel, Give me counsel as to what we shall do. 21. And Ahithophel said to Absalom, Go into your father's house. Ahithophel said to Absalom, Go into your father's concubines, whom he has left to keep his house. And when all Israel shall hear that you have gone in to your father's concubine, then shall the hands of all who are with you be strengthened. 22. So they pitched a tent for Abishalom upon the roof, and Abishalom went in to his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. 23. And the counsel of Ahithophel, which he gave in those days, was as if a man had inquired at the oracle of God. So all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David, so was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Abishalom. 17. Moreover, Ahithophel said to Abishalom, let me now choose 12,000 men, and I will rise and pursue David this night. 2. And I will overtake him while he is weary and weak, and I will throw him into a panic, and all the people who are with him shall flee, and I will kill the king only. 3. And I will bring back all the people to you, just as those whom you sought have come back, so all the people shall be in peace. 4. And the saying pleased Abishalom well, and all the elders of Israel. 5. Then Abishalom said, call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us likewise hear what he has to say. 6. And when Hushai came to Abishalom, Abishalom said to him, Ahithophel has spoken after this manner. What shall we do? What shall we do? Or shall we do what he has said? If not, you speak. 7. And Hushai said to Absalom, the counsel of Ahithophel was given not good at this time. Is not good at this time. 8. For Hushai said to Absalom, you know well that your father and his servants are mighty men, and they are furious as a bear that devours the prey in the field. Moreover, your father is a man of war, and will not spend the night with the people. 362 Ahithophel's suicide. 9. Behold, he is hidden in one of the countries or in some other place, and when we attack them according to the first counsel, then the rumor will spread that there has been a great slaughter among the people who follow Absalom. 10. Even though he is a valiant and his heart is as the heart of a lion, he shall utterly melt, and all Israel knows that your father is a mighty man, and that those who are with him are valiant men. 11. Therefore I counsel that when all Israel is gathered to you from Dan to Beersheba, then you yourself march in their midst. 12. So we shall go against him in some place where he shall be found, and we will light upon him as the dew falls on the ground. And of him and of all the men who are with him there shall not be left even one. 13. Moreover, if you should enter into the city, then all Israel will cast ropes on it, and will drag it into the valley. And they shall leave not even a cricket. 14. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for the Lord has decreed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, so that the Lord might bring evil upon Absalom. 15. Then Hushai said to Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel, and Absalom and all the men of Israel, and thus I have counseled. 16. Now therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, do not spend the night in the plain of the wilderness, but pass over, lest you and all the people who are with you be destroyed. 17. Now Nathan and Ahimaaz were standing by the side of the fountain of the palace, so that they might not be seen to enter the city. And a maidservant went and told them, and they went and told King David. 18. Nevertheless, a lad saw them and told Absalom that they both went away and came to the house of a man of Beth Huram, who had a well in his courtyard, and they went down into it. 19. And the woman took a spread and covering over the well's mouth, and put barley upon it, and the thing was not known. 20. And when Absalom's servants came to the woman at the house, they said, where are Ahimaaz and Nathan? And the woman said to them, they have gone from here, for they wanted water, but when they could not find any, they returned to Yerushalayim. 21. And after Absalom's servants had gone, they came up out of the well and went and told King David and said to him, Arise and cross quickly over the water, for thus has Ahithophel counseled against you. 22. Then David arose, and all the people who were with him, and they crossed the Jordan. But early morning by early morning, there was not one of them left who would not cross the Jordan. 23. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and rose and went home to his city, and he put his household in order and hanged himself and died and was buried in the sepulchre of his father. 24. And David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom crossed the Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. 25. And Absalom had appointed Amasa over the army instead of Joab. Amasa was the son of an Israelite, whose name was Ithra, who went in to Abigail, the daughter of Nahash, sister of Zuriah, Joab's mother. 26. So Israel and Absalom encamped at the land of Gilead. 27. When David came to Mahanaim, Abishai, the son of Nahash, of Rabbath, of the children of Ammon, and Machir, the son of Gamil, of Lodiba, and Barzillai, the Gileadite, of Dob el-In. 28. Brought beds and carpets and earthen vessels, and wheat and barley, and parched wheat, and flour, and beans, and lentils. 29. And honey, and butter, and sheep, and cheese of cows, and offered them to David and to the people who were with him to eat, for they said, The people are hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. 363. Joab slays Absalom.